Why slow practice is crucial to excellence. Slow practice is sometimes framed as remedial, cautious, or something endured only until one is good enough to move faster. In certain respects, it can serve those functions. Yet its deeper value lies far beyond remediation. When a passage is deliberately slowed, the brain's experience of the music itself changes. Spaces appear that were previously concealed by momentum. Minute instabilities become audible and tangible. Transitions that once blurred into one another can be felt as discrete events. The question shifts from a vague sense of something being wrong to the precise recognition of a specific, adjustable detail. Elite performers across disciplines return to slow work not because they lack skill, but because they understand how lasting learning consolidates. Fast practice leans heavily on momentum and the body's ability to ride through difficulties. Slow practice relies on awareness. It allows the player to inhabit each gesture fully, to notice the breath that supports a phrase, the precise weight of a finger or bow, the micro-adjustments of intonation and timing that create coherence. In this sense, slow practice teaches the musician to breathe the music rather than merely to execute it. There is an important distinction between muscle memory and narrative memory. Muscle memory enables the body to repeat a sequence of actions. Narrative memory enables the mind to understand why one action leads to the next, how the phrase is shaped, and where the musical intention resides. Slow practice builds the latter. It constructs an internal map that remains stable even when external conditions change. Glenn Gould was known for working at tempos far removed from performance speed, often remaining in the practice room at paces that revealed every structural joint of a piece. He understood that speed introduced too early can mask instability rather than resolve it. The same principle appears in the Suzuki tradition, though it is sometimes misconstrued as mere discipline. The deeper aim is fluency through familiarity. When the body knows what follows without anxiety, speed arises as a natural consequence rather than as an imposed demand. Listening and the capacity to predict what comes next place the prepared player ahead of the novice who relies only on reactive effort. Within the Della Maré music continuum, this orientation is fundamental. Speed is not a condiment added at the end. It is what appears when nothing obstructs the flow, when tension, hesitation, and unresolved technical questions have been quietly addressed. Slow practice is therefore not an expression of fear, nor should it ever be treated as something to be ashamed of. It is the act of giving the music sufficient time to organize itself in both mind and body. The alternative carries a clear risk. Speed can hide inaccuracies that then become embedded through repetition. Once a flawed pattern is practiced at tempo, it settles into habit and becomes far more difficult to reverse, particularly under the pressure of examination or performance. For children, and for neurodiverse learners, this consideration is especially important. Leading by the example of slow, attentive work establishes safety, clarity, and genuine ownership of the material long before any demand for flashy or nimble virtuosity is introduced. The continuum prioritizes this order, awareness and coherence first, so that when speed eventually arrives, it is stable, expressive, and free of hidden fracture. In this way, slow practice ceases to be a temporary stage and becomes a permanent resource, one that supports excellence precisely because it refuses to rush past the details that excellence depends upon.